How's it going, all you lovely little weirdos? I'm Globaloutcast. That is the TheAnimeShogun.
Ay, qué rico.
Ay, que rico! And today we will be talking about a very special madman with a box. For those of you who get it, you are a real one. And, yeah. So, what's the first question you want to ask about the madman with the box? Because I'm a big Doctor Who fan. Not the biggest, but I'm a big one.
First of all, okay, I wanted to make sure that that was the actual title of this, and I'm not asking you any questions because I don't know shit about it.
Alright, let
So
me explain. First, there was a madman with a box. He literally stole the
hold on,
TARDIS.
I'm sorry. Hold on, Madman with the way you worded, the way you put tone into that, basically sounded so fucking like, what's the word I want to use? Like monotone, like basically just Madman with a box.
Oh, he's a fucking nutcase. He uses no weapons. All he has is a screwdriver. And he stole the TARDIS. Like, he wanted to go on an adventure. Him and his granddaughter. The first Doctor, he had a granddaughter. And how he got stuck as a 1969 as a 1960s police box was the chameleon circuit got damaged and it got stuck as the police box because it can transform into anything to hide itself.
Right, because I remember, I think it was David Tennant. He literally treats the screwdriver like car keys. He's like, "Now where did I leave that?"
Yeah, yeah, it was funny. The only thing that thing can't deal with is wood, which is funny. And like every single doctor's like, I really gotta make a wood thing for this. It's funnier than hell. Um, and it's actually kind of ingenious on how they kept the show going because when the original guy left, I think he left because of health reasons. They wanted to keep the show going, so they just invented regeneration, and
Which
that's
is why every doctor ends up regenerating by the
yes,
end of their lifespan.
yes. At the end of their time as the Doctor, each one will transform into someone else. New character, new design, new everything. It can be anything. And one thing people get pissy about is one of the newer ones was a female. People started getting
Yep.
pissy about it. And in the lore, like
Well,
in the show,
hold on, because you're jumping a little bit. We want to try to
sorry,
keep it at the beginning.
I was just explaining in the lore that the Doctor can doesn't matter if the Doctor can transform into white, black, Asian, male, female.
Yeah, I don't think they really have a certain thing
No, it
for the doctor.
no, it's just most of the time it's just older white men. There's probably a lore behind that somewhere because they've made books and audiobooks and comics and all sorts of shit.
Right.
Um,
But all right, so let's start with the beginning. Like you said, the madman with the box.
yeah, he ended up stealing the TARDIS. Um, in one of the later episodes, you find out the TARDIS says she stole him, um, which is funny. And then he went out, got adventures, ended up finding companions, the Doctor companions, and he goes by the Doctor. No one knows his name. No one knows. I don't. No one knows his
So he's
name.
technically the first doctor then.
Yes,
But at the same time, he's technically not the doctor.
yeah. Well, he goes by the Doctor. He's technically the Doctor. He. No one knows his name, and the first Doctor was William Hartnell was the first Doctor.
Now, I feel like I've heard that last name somewhere before.
I don't know. I do know the second Doctor's grandson played Alfred on Gotham.
That's probably where I recognize it.
Um, but he was young. In like Doctor Who things, he's young. Um, and so he grew old, became like this grumpy old man, had a granddaughter, and didn't want companions. He just wanted like an adventure or something, I think. And because
That makes sense.
those episodes are really hard to find because I think there was like some sort of water damage or something to them. And
That weren't they originally on like that BBC channel,
yes,
like
and
the British broadcast? Like I believe they own the rights
I
for Doctor Who, don't they?
I think it's I don't really right know because they stopped streaming them on HBO Max and put them on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I
And
know because I've got it on my Disney Plus where I can watch the new one. Because little fun thing to throw in for there's a lady I work with. Her so if her daughter listens to this first episode
hi.
and she listens to it, you're now best friends with my co-host. Um, her mom mentioned about was talking about this, and we were talking about how technically I think right now it's kind of like a special, but there's only like there's two doctors, and that's something that's not even supposed to be happening right now.
Yeah. Um I don't know who owns the rights. I think it's a toss up between Disney and well, I think Disney owns the streaming rights and BBC owns the other rights because I don't really right now. I'd have to do some research on it because when that big thing was going on, it was getting transferred over to BBC. It was being talked about almost everywhere.
Yeah, because I know like BBC owns rights to I believe Doctor Who, and because they own like the merchandising rights and all that, and Disney only owns like the streaming service.
Yeah.
That's as far as I know. But so give me a little bit of facts with the first one. You know, are
Uh,
we talking very first episode? Are we talking it was like, 12 episodes? What are we talking here for the very beginning for these newbies that, the newbies that have never really watched it or
all right,
learned anything about it?
I got one fun fact. Fun fact. You could usually tell which direction the episode was going, like past or future, by how the doctor was dressed.
So if he was dressed what, like futuristic, he was going to the past and
No, if he was dressed like if I remember correctly, the color was red, he was going to the future, and blue meant he was going to the past. I think.
interesting.
And the first doctor to use the sonic screwdriver was the second one. Was the second doctor.
Right. Well, okay, but hold on. Right there, you just said as the second doctor used a screwdriver. But you also mentioned that this first doctor kind of uses, created or used the screwdriver too. So how does that work out?
No, he didn't use a
Is
sonic screwdriver. The first Doctor, used his head to defeat his enemies.
like mentally or have
Yeah,
like mental powers?
no, like
Because
he used his brain power, his mind, his wits to.
okay, I was gonna say because you never fully understand the doctor, and you never fully get a range of his capabilities.
He's the world's smartest dumb person. That's basically who he is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um. Yeah, the first Doctor didn't use a screwdriver. The second one did. He was the first one to use the sonic screwdriver, and the designs kind of went forward there. And each Doctor has a different design in the TARDIS, which I
Okay.
kind of like. It's actually kind of cool. Ooh, excuse me.
So then, who was the first companion?
I think his granddaughter.
So she would technically be like the sidekick or second companion.
She'd be like I think she would be the first companion, because for the most part, I think it was the third or fourth Doctors when they first started killing off the companions every now and then. Because the first companion was an alien dude who liked math. He died.
Who liked math? Who the fuck likes math? It's a
Strange,
joke.
strange people. Um,
Ugh.
but yeah, she left. I think she left on Earth to be with a boy.
But wasn't it technically different Earths if you follow the Doctor Who like timeline, or is there still technically one Earth?
It's still technically one Earth. It just gets very, very convoluted. Doctor Who gets
Okay,
very convoluted.
that makes more sense then.
Um, the enemies, there is the Cybermen, The
Yeah, they're like
Daleks.
the lifelong the Daleks.
Yep.
They were like I think the like main rivals, weren't they?
Yeah, Daleks and Time Lords were the main head-to-heads. Daleks were the Joker. Time Lords are the Batman, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, like throughout the first part of the series, you hear something about a time war eventually going on.
Now, see, I remember hearing about it. I think when I saw the Christopher Eccleston's. So
Yes,
the ninth. Do we want to call him the ninth or the eighth?
ninth, eighth was a movie.
Okay, so the ninth Doctor.
They tried to bring it back with the eighth. And fun fact, they wanted Jim Carrey to play the Eighth Doctor, but Jim Carrey turned it down because he knew nothing about the Doctors and he didn't want to disrespect the fans.
That's fair. I mean, that's a fair assessment, don't you think?
Oh, that's a huge fair assessment. But yeah, he's the Ninth Doctor. You meet Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. He is the last of the Time Lords because the Time War um just believe happened, and like he is the last of his race. Like as far as you know, there's no more Daleks, there's no more Time Lords. He's the last one, so he's just going around doing the Doctor shit, causing mayhem to enemies and trying to help people.
Okay.
And for those of you who get this, are you my mummy? Fucking creepy episode. That's
Oh
actually
God, why do I remember that?
fun fact. That's the first episode where Stephen Moffat wrote that episode. And those of you who knew Stephen Moffat, he is the one who kind of fucked with a lot of Doctor Who shit and kind of threw a lot of the convoluted shit out the window. Yeah,
But go on.
but the Time War
Oh, okay,
from
yeah. Sorry, go on.
the Time War is something between the Daleks and the Time Lords. Time Lords wanted to protect and maintain all of the universe. Daleks wanted to take it over and kill anyone or bring them over to make them look more like them. I believe it was something like that. To because
Makes sense.
they were imperfect. They weren't like the Daleks. So
Okay.
and like they hate each other with a passion. Daleks know nothing but they hate. They live on hate, fear, fighting, shit like that.
Fair enough.
And Time Lords, they just want to help and protect and maintain the time stream, society, all of the universe, shit like that. So that's where you
Now,
meet.
what about since we've got a lot of time.
Oh
Now, what
yeah.
about like the second or third or the fourth? Let's talk a little bit about or some more about these other ones that are all the way up until we get towards the ninth.
Yep. All right. So the first one leaves. I think he gets banned or banished from ever entering Time Lord Society or something like that. And as punishment, he gets regenerated into the second Doctor. And he left because of health issues, I believe. Second Doctor came in. I think he stayed for two seasons, and then left first. I think for the similar reason. Because the youngest Doctor before who we have now was, I believe he was a fifth Doctor. Was the youngest. All one through four were like a lot older men.
Okay.
Um, so I don't really know much about the second or third. I did do some research on the fourth one because my father was a huge fan of the fourth Doctor.
If you wouldn't have added the father part, I was about to be like, "Oh my God, you don't know, you bastard!"
Oh yeah, he was a huge fan of the fourth Doctor. Blew my
I know,
mind.
but because you said the whole "your dad," I didn't want to turn around and kind of
Oh yeah.
hit back with that, like, "Oh, you motherfucker, you're a disgrace to the." I didn't want to do that, considering the fact that you threw in the father, so I was kind of like,
But yeah, I did some research on the fourth one. Um, he he used a lot of his wits too. He was the one with the really long scarf.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that scarf was an accident, by the way. It wasn't supposed to be that long.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's the funny part. Excuse me. Yeah, that was supposed to be a lot fucking shorter. But yeah, they each doctor and every now and then they'll have a special with the doctor. Sometime most of the time they'll bring back an older doctor. And like I think the first special they had was when the first five doctors meet. They call it no, the first special was the three doctors, first, second, and third, and then the second special was I believe it was the five doctors.
Okay.
Because one thing about Doctor Who is they're not supposed to cross times. They're not supposed to cross times with themselves. Otherwise,
Right.
shit gets weird and wacky, and you never want to cross streams.
You said that on purpose, you fucking pervert.
Ghostbusters, you fucking imbecile.
Yes, I know what it was from.
You degenerate.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's besides the fucking point. You
But
fucking nerd.
calm down there, Piccolo.
Nerd. And
Um,
technically that's Nail, you fucking degenerate.
no, he said no. Piccolo says it to go
No,
on a few
tech.
times.
Yeah, but before that, I actually technically think that's wrong, and I think it's actually from Super Kami Guru.
Oh yeah,
Boom.
yeah. He is technically Super Guru said it first, but Piccolo set it up. Piccolo does it too. That's why I called you Piccolo.
Well, fuck you. Anyway, continue, you piece of shit.
um, yeah, the second Doctor. Oh, no, yeah, the fourth Doctor. The specials. He ends up. They end up doing some of the shit with that stuff. They never want to. They never. So that you very rarely see other Doctors come in, but sometimes you'll see other companions come in later episodes.
Sorry, I just gotta say this because you were stuttering a little bit.
Yeah.
But go on.
But eventually, they have some companions that come back every once in a while, like the commander. I think his name is either the commander or the commodore, something like that.
I think it's Commodore. I know
Um,
what you're talking about. I think it's the Commodore.
yeah. Sarah Jane comes back and came back in the later series.
I
Um,
think it was the one lady from David Tennant's. Apparently she got married to the doctor or something like that.
in the show, Rose got married to the Doctor. They left,
No,
and
not Rose.
oh yeah, the Doctor's daughter. Yeah,
Later than Rose.
yeah, Doctor's daughter. Yeah, he married. All right, now this is gonna get confusing. People, stay with me here.
Don't feel bad, people. I'm already confused.
The Doctor got married to the Doctor's daughter. An episode, not in the actual episode, because that'd be weird. It's the episode's name is the Doctor's daughter. He got married, and she is actually a Doctor's daughter. She's the fifth Doctor's actual daughter.
Hey, Brandon, or hey, Global.
Yes.
My head fucking hurts now.
Don't feel bad. A lot of people's heads hurt when when trying to explain fucking Doctor Who.
I
Um,
mean, I'm hearing you go like, blah, 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 and I'm
it's
sitting
like you're
here like,
speaking a language.
oh.
I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, basically, that's how I feel. And that's not to be offensive to some of our listeners, but that's how I'm seriously feeling with this conversation a little bit is, blah, 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 like the fucking, yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, he actually married her. Forget her name, but she's another actress. I think she played on Seed of Chucky. I think she played Jennifer Tilly's assistant.
I'm sure. I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He married her. Um, I think they intended to bring her back, the doctor's daughter. I think they intended to bring her back, but she wasn't popular enough, and so they just left her.
Okay.
Because yeah, that episode's whole weird. Um, yeah, but in the show, he's gotten married a few times. He's gotten married to Elizabeth the First of England. Uh, he had a copy of himself that couldn't regenerate, and got married to Rose, and they moved to a parallel Earth. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, shit gets confusing. If you don't watch it and you just explain it to someone, you're just gonna sound like a nutcase.
I mean, you kind of already do, but I know where you're going with it because I have studied and I have seen a little bit of what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So,
like a lot of the show. Oh, and he got married to a woman who tried to kill him. So I mean, he has taste.
I mean, if you want to call that taste, and sure, but
Have
that's
you seen
neither here nor
Have
there.
you seen River
Continue.
Song? Have you seen River Song?
I actually think I just came across like that episode on like TikTok a while back.
You first meet River Song. And this is the ingenious part of Steve. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that Stephen Moffat kind of messed with the Doctor Who that I think a lot of people aren't fond of, but they still love him. You first meet River Song in her last episode. You meet her in the tenth.
Okay.
You meet her in the 10th Doctor, the library, two-part library episode.
The library. Okay, then yes, I have seen
Yes,
that. Yes, I have seen that episode.
yes, that is River Song. You first meet her there. Her
Yeah,
parents,
because if I remember, wasn't that David Tennant's doctor? Because if I
yes,
remember correctly, he was basically like talking about how they're an actual like species or they're a thing, and he's like,
Boston
but they're in
Narada,
the
yes.
forest. Yeah, they're in the forest, and then he's like, wait, this library, holy, yeah, okay, yeah.
By far one of my favorite episodes, by the way. Um, yeah, the Boston Narada, really great episode. That's where you first meet her, and how he figures out she's someone important is he only does this to people he trusts and he feels are important. He tells them his actual name. His name is a big guarded secret, and he tells them. And she leans in right before she, sacrifices herself. She tells him his name, and he goes, "How did you know my name? I don't tell no one my name unless I trust them." And she goes, "Spoilers." Her thing, and she sacrifices herself in the last episode.
Oh, yep.
And then you later find out her parents are Amy Pond and Rory. By far my two.
I think I've heard of Rory before.
Yeah, he's a Centaurian. My second favorite
Yep.
episode is the Pandorica box episode when he stays with to protect Amy Pond for like 1,000 years, and fucking just I love that episode. One of my favorite lines comes in that is in that episode from the Doctor. For those of you who have fought me, stand aside and let someone else who hasn't tried.
Huh.
Something along that line. If you haven't watched it, I'd highly recommend it. Really good because Rory hits the Doctor. You don't see him many times. People hit the Doctor, but he hits the Doctor. And my favorite poem comes from Matt Smith's generation.
Now, at this point, we're already just jumping around, so fuck it.
Right?
Um,
My bad. I got excited.
yeah, no shit. So that being said, there is one thing I don't remember what he sits there and says, but it's literally right when David regenerates into Matt Smith, and I think it's like this big ass eyeball shows up in the sky.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's literally
yeah.
the start of Matt Smith
Yep,
because he basically comes out in his unit, and what he was wearing, and I don't remember word for word what he says, but apparently he says something, and the creature or whatever says something about Earth. He's like, you don't want to do that, or something along those lines.
yep,
He's like, why? And the eye or whatever is like wide. He's like, haven't you? Or so, I think he says, haven't you heard? I'm the doctor.
yep. and this Earth is protected. Yep. Every doctor, you want them to come in with a bang. I think David Tennant's doctor came in with a little lackluster, but uh, Matt
Probably.
Matt Smith's doctor came in like a boss, I believe. Leaving is good. Never
Oh,
coming back is better.
well, I mean, David did well enough that he came back as like the 12th.
Oh, technically 14th doctor.
Well, yeah, he's right now one of the current doctors.
Yeah, everybody loved that. He's by far one of the most popular doctors.
You almost said Batman.
Right. Although he'd make a don't get me wrong, I love David Tennant, but he would make a brilliant fucking Riddler. Now back on point. Um,
Would
it's
you like to get another in there real quick or no?
um um um.
We're gonna become a fucking drinking game at this point.
Drink water to survive.
Anyway.
I say a lot, people.
Anyway, so yeah, so then let's go through Eccleston's. Because I feel like Rose was literally like a hallmark moment when they introduced Rose.
Oh, Rose is by far one of my favorites.
Right, but I feel like just she was like the biggest companion. I feel like it was literally almost like a big event, or like a hallmark kind of moment or something along those lines with
Oh yeah, no. To me, no one has been as important as Rose. No, yeah, Rose.
that's exactly what I'm talking about with literally how big of a, because I feel like she had the longest for companions.
I think it's about the same. Because she started with the ninth, left at the 10th, and then she came back in the Doctor Who special as an AI program to help the Doctor decide on something. The War Doctor, by the way. But yeah,
Right.
she's. I think it's rough. I think they roughly stay around that time as like two doctors. I don't know who's the longest. I think someone in the early generations is the longest, staying for like three doctors or something like that. I don't really right now, but
You're probably not wrong, but like I said, for me, even still, I feel like she was probably one of the biggest for
I'm pretty sure a lot of young.
companions because
Yeah,
she had just I feel like just her whole like character development and all of that. I feel like it was a big moment to be just in general.
I'm pretty sure a lot of young boys discovered their sexuality with Rose.
Was she even really all that sexual within the show?
No, she was something. She was good looking.
Oh yeah, in that sense, wow.
Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of young British boys had
Well,
crushes
hold
on
no,
her.
I gotta take that back because there has been, I think, one or two uh other people I have talked to, so some of the female variety
Yep.
that I've actually had a crush on Rose too.
Well, mate.
Because I know a lot of people did not really care for uh
Mickey.
I think she was the one with David.
Yeah, she was with David. And her boyfriend Mickey was also with David. He ended up joining for a little bit.
I just remember the one chick that was with David, and I know she would not a lot of people really liked her, from my understanding.
Oh, are you talking about the one after Rose?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Then you must be talking about. Fuck, I think her name was Sarah. I think
that's probably it. Sarah, yeah, that sounds about right.
I think that was her name because she was a black doctor. She was introduced when they brought a hospital to the moon. Um, After her was Oswald. No, she was with the 11th Doctor. My bad. My bad. My bad. Yes, she ended up joining. She ended up having a crush on David Tennant's Doctor, but he kind of, you ain't my type of thing. And then she ended up falling in love and marrying Mickey off screen. So yeah, but yeah, Rose has been far one of the most popular ones. Like so far as she came back in
Yeah,
in some shape or form or another.
I remember her in, what was it? Because I don't remember who was in Matt Smith's. I don't
Um,
even know if he really had a female companion.
yes, he had Amy Pond.
You know, I might have to Google this just to kind of know who we're talking about here. So,
Amy Pond,
to the internet.
right? Amy Pond, the woman who played Amy Pond also played Gamora. Not Gamora. Fuck, her sister, the blue chick.
Nebula.
Thank you. She played Nebula. She was also
Yeah,
on.
that's Karen. Karen Gillian.
Yep, she also played on. She also played in Jumanji.
Yeah, Karen Gillian, I believe.
Yep.
And Donna Noble is who I'm thinking of.
Yes, Dottie Noble, by far one of my favorites. She should have met the Ninth Doctor. I wanted her to, like a lot of Doctor Who
Because I
fans.
remember her with the 10th, and I think a lot of people did not really care for her with David's.
She came back for a little bit, but yeah, I don't think a lot of people liked her. She should have met. She
No.
was so sassy. She should have met the Ninth Doctor. The Ninth Doctor was nothing but sass.
Well, yeah, Christopher's was. Which, here's the funny thing, too, that I don't think a lot of people realize. Fun fact, Christopher Eccleston is actually in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Really?
Yes, if you ever watch the movie Gone in 60 Seconds with Angelina Jolie and Nicolas Cage, he's the one guy with the long hair that sits here and says, "It never rains, but it pours."
Okay. I know he played
When
in Thor:
he's
Dark World. I know that.
Because I will type him in right now
Okay. I just
if
know
I
he
can learn how to spell.
learn how to spell scrub. Um, I know he played in Thor: The Dark World. He played the main antagonist, and he did not like that due to the makeup. I think Christopher Eccleston's Doctor left due to differences.
Actually, I don't know because from what I remember seeing is I remember him. I think looking at Rose, and he had sat there and said, "My time's up."
Well, yeah, the Doctor left. The Doctor left. My time is up. But I mean, Christopher Eccleston, I think, left due to
Oh, him
differences.
as the Doctor. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You had me confused for a minute.
yeah. Because he left after Bad Wolf. That was a whole season, like whole season thing they were doing, which is actually really cool. Um,
Yeah, he was Malekith in Thor: The Dark World.
yep. I always forget that name. Of course, that name's like fucking impossible to remember. Damn.
He was also McCullen in G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra.
Oh yeah, that's right. He eventually became Destro in
uh
that one because Destro's that silver-haired, the one that looks all silvery. What did you do to me?
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I think Gone in 60 Seconds, he was Raymond Calitri.
Okay, I'll try to watch that movie. I remember seeing it once a
It's an
long,
old
long time ago.
it's an old movie. So if you do watch that movie, if you watch Gone in 60 Seconds, he's the guy that literally hires them to boost cars.
Yep, 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 yep.
And at the very end, Nick is trying to get the one car that's damn near legendary that's supposed to be damn near impossible to get, and it's Eleanor.
Okay.
The Shelby GT500.
Yep.
Also nicknamed Eleanor.
Yeah.
And he brings the car back, and him and Raymond are shooting, kind of fighting each other, and Raymond, at one point between the movie, sits there and he looks at Nick Cage and he says, "It never rains, but it pours," because Nick Cage's character is called Memphis Rains because he had a younger brother with the same last name.
Yep, yep, yep.
So he says, "It never rains, but it pours."
Yeah.
So that's how I know him, is from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
Because the other fun facts I'm going to throw in here as we get ready to wrap this up. David Tennant, I know from Harry Potter.
Yeah. The amount of fan theories from connecting Doctor Who to fucking Harry Potter is immense.
I can't tell if you're saying that in the sense of it, you're pissed off about it or what.
It is fucking hysterical.
Because he's known for, he was Kilgrave in Jessica Jones.
Yep. He plays an
'Cause
amazing bad guy.
Yeah, he does. Because a lot of people forget that. He also, fun fact, I just found out not that long ago, because I was watching it, I believe, on Paramount Plus. Uh, he plays Sir Edmund Rockwell in the animated series that just released not that long ago.
Sir Edmund Rockwell.
So, you know, when we play Ark Survival Evolved,
Yeah.
even though we haven't really played, because you've only played, I think, on 2 maps, we play on one of them. I believe it's called Aberrations, where we kind of live underground.
Mm-hmm.
Rockwell became this big tentacle kind of monster. He's
Mm.
the voice of Rockwell.
Okay, I haven't seen the Ark series yet. Okay.
No, and we haven't played that map because of reasons that will not be named. But yeah, so he was known for the Doctor. He was also, people tend to forget, he was also in the Good Omens movie or the
Yeah.
shows.
Well, fun fact about that: when his car blew up, the director said, "Look at it as if the TARDIS blew up."
Yeah,
I thought that was hysterical.
but yeah, he was Good Omens. He
Yep.
was Jessica Jones.
Yep.
He was in How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was Spitelout and Ivar the Witless.
Yep.
He's apparently also in Call of Duty World War II.
I never really played any Call of Duty games, so I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I played
He
like
did
one
the voice
not
for
long ago.
he did the voice for Just Cause 3. That's interesting.
Huh.
But I know him mostly from Harry Potter.
I know him from Harry Potter and Doctor Who.
Right. Well, see, for me it was Harry Potter first, then Doctor Who, and then now Good Omens, and now I know him as Sir Edmund Rockwell from the Ark series on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I'll have to check those out eventually. But
Because
yeah,
a lot of people I don't think realize that he played Barty Crouch Jr.
I think that was. I think Barty Crouch Jr. came before the 10th Doctor. I think. Don't quote me on it.
You might be right. I haven't quite looked it up on that yet.
I'd have to take a look.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't realize Matt Smith was so with Matt Smith as the what 11th Doctor.
Yes.
So what's really funny to me is after I watched him as the Doctor, I basically was like that meme of whoop, that whistle and pointing and snapping
Yep.
of Leonardo DiCaprio, because after he was the Doctor, he was in Milo. He was in Morbius, which I think was a horrible movie. I'll say it. I'll say it. I don't care. I'll say it. I'll fight anybody. I thought Morbius was a trash movie. I'll say it. I don't care.
Oh, a lot of people did. Like they trolled. They trolled the people who made it so good that they thought they liked it, and so they brought it back to theaters.
Yeah, it was such a shit fucking movie. I'm sorry, but they could have done that way better.
Oh, hands down, yes. But
I
that's
felt I felt like Morbius was literally a fucking slap in the face to Dracula fans.
that's neither here nor there, though. We can
I
discuss
know, but
that.
that's how I felt with Morbius. I felt like literally they just tried throwing a Dracula spin on it, and then they just spat on it. But anyway, I know him from The Doctor. But what's funny is actually outside of Doctor Who, I know him from House of Dragons
Yes, that's right. He
because
plays in that.
He's Prince Daemon Targaryen,
Yep.
which we are now getting a second season of.
Eventually, I'll check. Just like George R. R. Martin, he'll finish that series. Eventually, I will finish. I will start Game of Thrones. It's not going to be
I've
today. Tomorrow's
watched
not looking good either.
I've watched almost all of Game of Thrones except for I think the last season or last 2 seasons.
My favorite character survived the entire series.
Oh yeah, you like the cripple.
I love the dwarf.
Wait, dwarf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, never mind. Sorry, I thought dwarf, so I was thinking like Gimli.
Yeah, I love him. He's my favorite. He's by far one of my favorite characters. I drink and know things.
Yeah, his weapon is knowledge, not with a sword, but knowledge.
And he slapped his little fucking nephew.
Yeah, and then he got accused of poisoning his nephew, who was king.
Let's be fair.
Killed his
He deserved it.
father, literally witnessed his brother and sister get killed, witnessed his nephew get poisoned and was accused of it, had no interest in marrying Sansa.
I think he did anyway, just to keep her up, just to keep the peace.
No, last I knew, he served what's her name? Targaryen.
Oh, but
Emilia Clarke's character. But anyway, we're getting off topic.
yeah, it's almost like we're a podcast or something.
Yeah, we are a podcast
Check us out,
where we
everyone.
just where we just talk shit about each other. I mean, no, we talk about very interesting things. Now, will you hurry up and end this shit? God, sick of talking about this.
Join our Discord, everyone. Chat with us, become our friends. Um,
But stay away from Global at like past midnight. You don't feed him after midnight. All right, we're
no,
good.
just like the creatures from Gremlins, you don't feed me after midnight, and you don't get me wet. Um,
Whoa, whoa, keep it PG-13.
hey, that is PG-13. That's literally one of the rules. You don't feed them after midnight, and you don't get them wet.